Well, Todd, we made it to the big one.
There's something different about this week. I'm not sure what it is.
We're number one. After 13 long weeks, through double sessions, through the heat of August,
and the chill of November.
We've made it to the title game, Todd.
Oh, man, alive. And,
all the aches and
so
pains.
have two teams.
Well, yeah, we brought those along with us. We have brought those along with us. First of all, let's review the semifinals, your primetime players for Week 13 of the high school football season.
From the Glenwood 42-13 demolishing of Richwoods, I'm going to go with the entire offensive line. I think anybody who watched that game, that was the difference. I mean, this is a team that held JCA to 14 points, that has, sort of buoyed their way to where they were, and Glenwood was the bully on Saturday.
Absolutely.
Huge days for both Tony Giovanelli, Devin Von Nordheim Moore. Had plenty of room to run through, and they made the most of it. And then, Miles McAdams had time to throw, didn't miss a pass, and when the coverage and the protection did break down, he took care of the ball, and I think all that goes back to the offensive line.
Who don't get a lot of credit most of the time. Only when they screw up. Only in Week 2 did we know who the linemen were.
Yes.
When they were 0-2. And now that they're 10-3, it's time to give those guys their just.
Absolutely.
Later on in the evening, we were in Rochester, and who's your prime timer from there?
Shoot, I don't know. Everybody.
Copping out here.
I know. I'll go with the dynamic duo of Colton Glazebrook and Wes Lunt. Glazebrook was, I guess didn't like being shut down last week at QND and took it out on Metamora.
200 plus.
200 plus, 5 touchdowns, big, long touchdown runs, And then Wes Lunt struggled early, but found his rhythm with and I wrote about it in the blog. I think it was a pass to Blake Gant on third and 10. That was just a beautiful throw, and it looked to me like Gant was just blanketed, but it didn't matter. And then that sort of woke him up, and he finished with 255 yards and two long touchdown, one-play drives to Travis Everly that really sucked the wind right out of that game. And
those will be my memories, watching number 3 going down that Metamora sideline all by himself.
And you know what? Honestly, those are the ones that connected. There were 3 or 4 opportunities before that just sort of went by the wayside.
Now it's on to the state championship game. Glenwood plays Lombard Montini. That's a name that we've heard about, usually at the beginning of the season with Sacred Heart Griffin. Now it's at the end of the season. Montini defending Class 5A champ. What does Glenwood have to do? What we've said since Week 2. What does Glenwood have to do to win this game?
Exactly what they've been doing ever since
it's worked.
Ever since Halloween weekend. Control the line of scrimmage, run the ball, take care of what they've got to do on defense. Montini last year I think became the second 4-loss team to win a state title after Elmhurst Immaculate Conception did it a couple years prior to that. So Montini's knows what it's like to catch fire in the playoffs because they did it last year. They're going to know how dangerous of a team.
Went down to the wire and beat JCA in the title game last year on the final play.
And really, it's kind of eerie the similarities. Montini, like Glenwood, lost their first 2 games to JCA and Joliet, or not Joliet, Wilmette Academy. Or Loyola Academy.
Loyola Wilmette.
That's what it is.
Wilmette Loyola.
They had to beat 2 conference teams in the postseason.
Yeah.
And, they handled an undefeated team in the semifinals.
Here they are. Here they are. One other sidelight to the Glenwood game, the lift that Jake Wienhoff being back in the lineup.
Absolutely.
Never be measured.
Yeah, and he was obviously, he was elated just to get back on the field. He was a fun kid to talk to after that game, and I guarantee you that Len Onken and the defensive guys were happy to have him, right in the middle of the defense, and he'll be a valuable asset this week too.
Montini has 2 All-Staters. Doug Diedrich is a linebacker, and Jordan Westerkamp is a wide receiver. So those are 2 names that we will hear about from Miami. Glenwood, 1 All-Stater. This was on the Illinois High School Football Coach Association. Tony Giovanelli was their All-Stater on that one. Let's go to the 4A championship game, which will be played in the freezing cold Friday night, 25 degrees probably, at 7 o'clock at night, if they kick off at 7 o'clock.
If we're lucky.
It'll probably be later.
Yep.
Rochester and Rock Island Alleman. And coincidence of coincidences, Derek Leonard trying for his first state championship. Who did his father beat when he won his first state championship?
I'm going to go with Rock Island Alleman for 500, Alex.
You got it. Want a breath. And now Derek will get a shot at it. What do we know about Alleman?
Alleman, they're again, there's some circumstances very similar to Rochester, smallest team in their conference, even with the multiplier.
Western Big Six Conference.
Western Big Six, 13-0, very stingy defense. Only allowed 20 points in a game once this season, and that was in a 1-point win over Richmond Burton. Like Rochester, that 1-point win was their close call in the quarterfinals. And like Rochester, their offense maybe isn't as explosive, but their winning margin has been very similar. And after they got that close call out of their system, they rolled over a sandwich, beat the Rubens.
The Indians.
Oh, the Indians.
Todd.
Sorry.
Please.
To advance. So, it seems like I haven't seen any stats yet, but it's going to be a very sort of similar, contrasting style sort of game where Alleman wants to grind you down, and Rochester wants to get the ball and score as many times.
But the beauty of Rochester is when they need to grind, Colton Glazebrook is a great grinder.
Absolutely. I mean, if he weren't so elusive and quick, he'd be a great grinder. But that 5-yard runs and turned into a 51-yard run.
But Rochester can't be beat. Rochester is on a mission. Rochester is going to bring back a state championship.
It'd be very difficult to see anybody. I know that Alleman's got a great defense, but I'd also like to see if they faced anybody as dynamic as Rochester this year.
I don't know, and the way Glenwood is playing right now, I don't know how you have to be a fool not to say Glenwood will win. They're on a roll.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just it's one of those things where whatever the right combination is, they've hit it, and they've just kept finding it, and it's. I think in many ways, I don't know, I wasn't here in '98, but I would think that this is more, that '98 team seemed like it was a pretty dominant team.
That was a magic carpet ride in 1998. That was one that was supposed to happen, and this is sort of the detour route. This is the one where okay, we got to get off the highway for a little bit and then get back on it. So that's pretty much how this one is.
They're rolling. So Friday night, 7 o'clock. Cross your fingers. At least for us, we'd like nothing more than a 7 o'clock kick on the nose.
6:30 kick would be better. That's the only thing better.
And then Saturday morning, 10 a.m. Get your donuts and coffee and get to the stadium.
Special sections on the way. This guy will be writing his off.
I got a lot of it to write.
And you know what? You won't even have to look at any more of these videos after this.
Aren't you lucky? You're going to miss this.
Hardware. We're number one.